Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for watching again. If you're a first time viewer, haven't missed much. It's my second video. I'm going to be doing a bright cut crease using Jeffree Star's new BloodLust palette. Gorgeous palette, it blends like butter. It's got a great color story. So yeah, gonna be starting with LA Colors Conceal It to prime my eyes. You can use whatever concealer or eye primer or even nothing if that's what works best for you. I've just found that this concealer works a lot better than anything else I've tried on my eyes. And bonus points, it's only like $4 at Family Dollar, so cheap is good. So yeah, I'm just going to take this and pat it all over my eyes. If I don't have my nails done, then I usually just use my finger, but since I got my claws on, I use my brush. And then I will go in with this flesh colored shade. And that is the shade Your Majesty. And I'm going to use a dense, not fluffy brush. And I'm just going to set that concealer there. That way everything blends a little bit easier. Once I've got that done, I'm going to take one of my favorite crease brushes. This is the e.l.f. eye crease brush. It's like $2, $3 at Walmart. We're going to go in with this teal shade here, and this is Vile Serpent. And I'm going to apply that right in my crease and slightly above. I'm not going to go too far below my crease other than what the brush naturally does, because that's where I'm going to be cutting it. So we're going to just put it right above my crease, blend it out into kind of a wing shape, how I like it. You can dip back into that color as many times as you want to make it as dark as you want. I want a nice vibrant color, so I'm going to go over quite a decent amount of it. And you're just going to blend with windshield wiper motions, back and forth. Make sure it's nice and smooth, everything's nice and uniform. Don't want it to look patchy. Then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do the same on the other eye. Make sure everything looks even. No patchiness, funkiness. Try to get those edges as even as possible. If you see me talking in the video, chances are I am talking to one of my children, probably telling them to leave me alone, so just ignore that. That's why I do voiceovers, because talk too much, plus, you know, they never go away. Oh, look, there's one now. He's going to brush his teeth for like an hour while spying on me in the background, so. After we've got that crease color nice and smooth, we're going to go in with this stiffer fluffy brush. This is a Precise blending brush I got in an Ipsy bag forever ago. And we're going to go in with this lighter blue shade Scandal Water. And I'm going to put that right above the line that I just created, just to blend out those harsher edges and kind of make it more of a gradient. We don't want anything to look too harsh or sharp other than the crease that we're going to cut in a little bit. So we want to blend that out, make sure it's nice and soft. Now, I'm going to go in with this tiny little brush I have and back in with my favorite concealer here. And this is where we're going to cut the crease. And the best way I found to cut the crease is to start right about your natural crease and just gradually move that line up a little bit. Do tiny little patting motions, keeping your eye closed the entire time. If you open your eye up or you crease it or wrinkle your eye up at all, that line is going to get all sorts of fudged up, and nobody wants that. So I'm just going to take this concealer and I'm going to cut out where I want the next color. We're going to pat that out, make sure it's all super smooth, keeping my eye closed the entire time. Make sure that line is nice, even, straight. And then I'm going to go right in with this red shade, Bleeding Heart. I'm going to take a very flat packing brush and I'm just going to pack that right on that concealer. Not gonna add a different transition shade or anything. I'm just gonna put it right onto that concealer, and that's gonna help it stick and be more vibrant. I've seen a lot of people who will go over with like a white cream shadow on top of whatever they use to cut their crease. I don't have one of those right at this moment, so I just go with my concealer. But yeah, just going to pack that on, make sure that color is really vibrant because we want this part to be so bright. You can dip into that color as many times as you want, pack it on, keep packing it on. I don't worry about making a mess like in the outer corner of my eye or under my eye or anything because I always do my eyes before the rest of my face, so I wipe it all off. And now it's time for the other eye. You're going to do the exact same thing. Try to get that crease as even as possible there, which if you've done makeup at all before, you know making your eyes look exactly the same, not very easy. So we're going to pack that concealer on, keeping my eye closed the entire time, which makes you look goofy as hell, but you know. Pack that on, make it nice and smooth, and get ready to add the color to the next eye. So we're going to pack this on, make sure it's nice and even, same amount of color. You don't want to pack too much on one eye and not enough on the other and have it look faded on one side or like too vibrant on the other. So next I'm going to go in with this super thin fluffy brush I got in my Urban Decay Alice palette forever ago. And we're going to go back in with Vile Serpent. And I'm just going to put this right above that line that we just cut, just to kind of fix anything that got rubbed off and make above that crease stand out a little bit more. I'm just going to do that a tiny bit on each side, make sure it looks good, add a little bit more definition, because we want there to be a noticeable cut crease. Next, I'm going to take my trusty makeup wipe on my finger, and I'm just going to clean up those edges, give it the nice sharp edge that I like. Some people will use tape. I used to use tape, kind of gotten better at freehanding it with all the practice, so now I just clean up anything that I mess up. But you can do it however you want to. I'm just going to clean up all the fallout that I got. That way I can apply the rest of my face here in a little bit. Make sure, you know, inside of my eyes aren't super bright red. Make sure it doesn't look like I got punched in the nose. So after that, we are going to go in with the e.l.f. liquid liner. It's like $3 or $4. Get it at Walmart, dollar store. I love the little brush tip it's got. I'm currently out of my favorite brush tipped pen, so this is the next best thing. It's got a super deep black color to it. It applies well, it stays well. If your eyes are super runny or watery, you're probably going to want their waterproof version. Mine don't water hardly ever, so this one works just great for me. But I'm going to take this and go from the outer corner of my eye and just follow the natural line that my eye has and wing it out. You can add a wing, you can just do a regular line. You can even skip the eyeliner altogether. I like to add a wing because it just, I don't know, adds a little more definition to me. Plus, I'm going to be using my magnetic lashes today, and those have a magnetic liner, which is black, so this just kind of adds to it. So I'm going to do that on the next side as well. Try to make the wings as even, and just like with trying to make that cut crease even, it's going to be a little difficult to get that wing even. So we're going to try our hardest though. Swoop that liner out, give it a nice angle. Make sure the length of the wings is at least normal. Thickness is probably not going to be the same, but at least they're somewhat similar. Next, I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner. This one is in the shade Stage Dive. It's got greens and teals and a little bit of gold in it, and I just thought it would work really well with the colors on my eyeshadow. So I'm going to take this liner and I'm going to go right on that crease line that I created. And this glitter liner is not super glittery. You have to actually pack on a decent amount. So if it looks like I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again, that's why. The brush is also slightly thick, so you do have to clean up a little bit of that edge you create. I haven't really found one that I love yet. So if you got any recommendations on awesome glitter liner, drop it in the comments. And while we're speaking of comments, like, subscribe, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think, what you want to see. Give it a share. Ask your friends what they want to see. My channel is going to be pretty much all tutorials. That's what I want to focus on, is teaching. I've had a lot of my friends, my family, my mom asking me, oh, will you show me how to do this? Will you do this for me? So I'm like, you know what? I guess I will start showing. So yeah, drop some comments below and let me know what you would like me to show you how to do next. As you can see, packing on that glitter liner little bit by little bit, trying to get a nice glittery line there. The lighting in my bathroom is really crappy right now, so it's kind of hard to see, but now we're going to do that on the other eye, pack it on, make sure it looks nice. And then after I get this on, I am going to clean that up a tiny bit. Almost done with the glitter, just making it look as vibrant as I can possibly get it. So once we get that all finished up, we're just going to take our super small flat packing brush, the same one that we just used with that same red color. I'm just going to kind of tap that a tiny bit right along that edge, kind of clean up the glitter that strayed a little too far. It's not going to be very much, just a little bit, and maybe you have more of a steady hand than I do and this step won't be necessary at all. But as you can see, that glitter liner added a little bit more definition to that cut crease, kind of separated it a little bit more, kind of made it more obvious that there's a line there. Now we are on to lashes. Last video I used actual glue-on lashes. This video I am using magnetic lashes. This is the Kiss Magnetic Eyeliner. You have to shake it up quite a bit. There's a little metal ball in there that kind of ironizes everything, makes it magnetic. And you just put that right along your lash line. It can go on top of your eyeliner. It can go on top of your eyeshadow. I have not found a way that it does not work yet. But apply that right along your lash line where your lashes are going to sit. And you're going to do that on both eyes. And then the most fun part is waiting for it to dry. It takes probably a good 3 minutes for it to dry. Might be longer depending on how much you put on. But we're going to use the Kiss Faux Mink Magnetic Lashes in Crowd Pleaser. And once that liner is fully dry, you literally just stick it right on the liner. You don't have to mess with the glue, don't have to wait for glue to get tacky. You literally just have to wait for the liner to dry. And then boom, your lashes go on. If they're crooked, you can peel off the corner, stick it back on. You can take them off and switch your lashes out with a different pair if you don't like those magnetic ones. These magnetic lashes are literally the greatest thing ever invented if you like false lashes. It's extremely easy and they stay all day. Last weekend, I wore them from 8:30 in the morning until probably like 2 o'clock in the morning that night. So after lashes, I'm going to do my concealer and the rest of my face real quick. And then we're going to go in on the bottom lash line. This is just a small black pencil liner I have because I'm out of my favorite right now and haven't been able to go to the store to get more. So I'm just going to line my bottom lash line here with black. I have always been and probably always will be a black liner on the lower lash line girl. Started with tiny little baby emo me way back when. Now I'm going to go back in with Vile Serpent, but I'm going to use my tiny little smudge brush that I have. We're going to take that and we're just going to smudge out that bottom lash line. Kind of complete the look a little bit more. Add in that extra oomph to that eyeshadow look. Like I mentioned in my last video, which if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Smoking out the lash line is one of my favorite things to do. I feel like it completes everything so much more. So you can add as little as you want, as much as you want. You can skip this step too. That's just what I prefer to do, is smoke it out. I'm gonna add that color in there, make sure it looks good. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Take the Crown, which is a very pearly, very light lavender purple. And I'm going to go in with my tiny little round brush that I use for highlighting the inner corner of my eye and my brow bone. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to highlight that inner corner, pack that color on, make sure it's nice and shiny, because if you like highlighter as much as I do, you know if they can't see you from space, you are not glowing bright enough. So we're going to pack that on, make sure it's nice and bright, and then I'm going to go right in on under the arch of my brow and make sure it's nice and blended out. Highlight the high point of my brows right there. Do that on both sides, make sure everything's even. It's probably one of the hardest things about makeup is making sure both sides of your face are equally even. After we're done with that, we are going to take my favorite highlighter. This is the Kat Von D Alchemist palette. And I'm actually going to use the shade Sapphire in this one. This is the bluish shade. And whoo, baby, look at that glow. Barely touch your brush to that palette and it glows so bright. The emerald shade is my absolute favorite. I hit pan on it a decent while ago. And it's sad, and I'm going to be buying probably like 3 more of these palettes before it's gone. So I'm going to highlight the cheekbone, tip of the nose, in between, and the Cupid's bow, because gotta glow. I'm gonna set that all with my favorite setting spray right now. It's Morphe Continuous Mist Setting Spray. I love how it doesn't like soak your face, but you can feel that it is setting in and it is not going to budge. This stuff has helped my makeup stay for a good like 14-16 hours. Now it's time for mascara, and I'm gonna use the Hank and Henry duo. Gonna go in with the thicker end today for my upper lashes, and that's just gonna be to blend my natural lashes with those falsies. My lashes are super short and straight, so I usually have to be pretty rough with them and like push them up to the false lashes, otherwise they'll just pop right back down and it'll look like I have like 6 layers of lashes. So after we've got those all covered in mascara, going to go in with the other end of the mascara, and that is the tiny little wand, and that is wonderful for your lower lash line. So I'm going to go in and put the mascara on those lashes. And not going to stab myself in the eye this time. I did in the last video. But after mascara, that is the final step for this eye look. All I'm going to do now is fix my hair, apply my lipstick. And now I just want to thank you guys for watching. Here is the finished look. I feel like it was a pretty decent starter cut crease for somebody to do. Use the Jeffree Star BloodLust palette. Great palette. If you're thinking about buying it, definitely do. And like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you want to see. Bye.